Here, all the material, cables, switches, adapters, everything are made up of copper. So the data transmission will happen with the speed of copper material, electricity, with the speed of electric signals. Okay. So we get the speed of electricity is less than speed of light. So obviously we get less performance than FC. Okay. Less performance than. So less costlier as well. Normally medium scale companies will prefer this storage. Medium level companies will prefer this storage. But right now in the market, with the speed, with the price of iSCSI, people are getting FC itself. Okay. Just very minute difference between FC and iSCSI. Okay. So that's why people will prefer FC over iSCSI. Maximum out of 100 people, if they are using VMware vSphere, okay, 60% will be FC. Not even 40, some 30-35% NFS, around 5%. You can say iSCSI like this. Usage is very less. But if someone is using iSCSI, if you have been selected for this project, you should know how to work with iSCSI. So that's why we'll discuss here. So the adapters, cables, switches, these cables, adapter controllers, everything are made up of copper. So we get the speed is less than FC here. It will be connected in the same manner. But as an administrator from the vCenter server, if you see here, the data stores looks like exactly same as FC. We don't know whether we are using FC or iSCSI also until you go to the data center and see whether the cables are FC cables or normal LAN cables. On internet use cables LAN cables. So if those are the cables used there in the backend, it will be FC. If it is iSCSI. If FC cables, very small cables and will have fiber material inside. Okay, so. But unless our VMware admin work will be exactly same as FC. Okay. Now we'll see technically there will be one minor change compared to FC. We will discuss that. These adapters are IQN adapters. It will have, this is a normal NIC cards only, network interface cards. You have a laptop to connect the internet cable, right? The same ports will be there in the backend, server backend. In FC, what are the adapters called? Adapters. HBS. HBA card will have WWN address. Here, the NIC cards will have IQN address. These called IQN adapters also, but just to differentiate, called iSCSI qualified name. It looks something like this. IQN addressing format looks like this. Here we have a server with IQN address. Select ESXi, go to configure tab, storage adapters, identifier. So next to the identifier, look from top to bottom. Wherever you see the address, that is the adapter presented. So here there is an iSCSI adapter presented. IQN.1998.01.com.vmware.com. So this refers iSCSI qualified name, okay, 1998-01. The company who manufactured this adapter, okay, when the company was established in the market, 1998-01, January 1998. Okay. and com.vmware.com. Which company is it? Who manufactured this adapter? VMware. Normally VMware.com, HP.com, IBM.com, we read the domains like that, right? It's in reverse order. Com.vmware, that means VMware.com. It's an adapter developed by VMware. If it is broken, com.brocade. And next will be the identifier, which is basically the server serial number, server 1, server 2, server 3 like. Clear? Okay. So that is the IQN addressing format. Nobody will question you about it. Okay, very rare cases. It's not even 1% chance. That's fine. If you would like to remember what is that addressing format, when this is the company month and year of the company registration and company name domain in reverse order and the server name and serial number. Okay. Now, if you want to technically attach iSCSI storage with an ESXi machine, what are the steps involved? Okay, we'll see that. First, VMware team share the VM kernel IP address. Okay, first SAN team, so VMware team should share the VM kernel IP address. Here we don't use WWN address, we use IP address to connect to the storage. Second step, VMware team. iSCSI target binding. We'll see what does that mean. This is one-time task. You don't need to do again and again. SAN team. Map the LUN. First create LUN and map it with VM kernel IP. Fourth one, VMware team. Create a data store. First step, we have to share the VM kernel IP address to them, and they should share the iSCSI server IP to us. Okay. Here in iSCSI storage, there is no concept of zoning and masking. Okay. Then how the LUNs will be visible even after physical configuration? The LUN should be visible to our ESXi, so which includes the logical configuration. Physical connectivity is done. Okay. Once the physical connection is done, logical configuration should take place. There is no joining and masking for logical configuration. Then how the LUN will be visible? So here we are using copper material. Everything is IP based, IP address based communication. So here also it will have an IP address network. We will discuss what is this IP address, okay, how it comes from. We will discuss about it completely later. Let's say the address is 192.168.0.103. Our ESXi IP address is 192.168. 240. Now we have, before we are going to logically configure the storage, okay, for logical configuration, we need their end IP address and they need our end IP address. We have to exchange our network address with them and they should share their network address with us. So based on the IP address, we will attach the target. So we will go to this adapter and say that, hey, adapter, this is your target. You go and speak to this IP address for storage communication. Okay. And while presenting the LUN also, they will say this LUN should be visible to this IP address only. Okay. Fine. So based on the IP address, we bind to the target. That's called iSCSI target binding. Second step is the target binding. So informing our adapter that, so where is our target for the storage communication. Then storage team will create a LUN and map it to the ESXi, which we have shared the IP address to. We have shared the ESXi level IP address to them. They will share it to us. Then create a data store. Now the LUN will be visible. We have to create a data store. Okay. Now, clear? Any question? So clear? No. Now you should ask me, like, where can we find the VM kernel IP? We have to share the VM kernel IP to the storage team. So where can we see that kernel IP? ESXi machine, configure tab, VM kernel adapter. Here you can copy the IP. This is the location where we can find the kernel IP address from our end. Select ESXi machine, configure tab, VM kernel adapters. Here under the networking, VM kernel adapter. Here there are two adapters present. So we have to take any one IP which we have decided for storage communication. In our lab, always you take the first one, but once we discuss about networking topic, then we will come to know which one to select. Okay, we are not yet completed with the network topic. So once we are done with network topic, you will come to know which port group you need to select for iSCSI, which IP to select for iSCSI communication. So as of now, you select the first IP in our network, in our lab, until we cover the network topic. Okay, blindly you take. Fine, take this IP. Then so we have to send that IP address 192.168.0.20 to them. Once they give that IP address we have to enter on the adapter's memory, stating that adapter should contact this IP address to further storage communication. That's called iSCSI target binding. Storage adapters. Dynamic discovery. select an adapter. Add, enter, SCSI server IP. This is one-time task. We don't need to do it again and again. Network port binding. Add and select VM kernel port group. Okay. Clear? No. So target binding is one-time task. I did connecting the adapter with its target, storage target. Okay, one-time task. We don't need to do it again and again. So select the ESXi machine, configure tab, go to storage adapters. So select the iSCSI adapter. This is the IQN. Starting with IQN is the adapter used for iSCSI's communication. Okay. Go to dynamic discovery. Here based on the bottom you can see multiple options. Go to dynamic discovery. Okay. So click on here. Here there are some adapters. The targets are already added. Click on add. Enter the IP address that we want to add. In our lab, it's 103. Okay. So it might be already added. 103. I can see it already here. Okay. Just click on add. Enter 192.168.0. Like this, and then say OK. We'll discuss about what is this port later. Okay. During networking topic, we will understand port. So click on OK. Okay. Go to network port binding. Click on add. You need to select a port group which we should use for storage communication. So what is port group? We will discuss later. As of now, if you go to VM kernel, the first one, named as management network, it should be selected here. VMK0. You can see VM kernel adapters. What is the number? VMK0. Okay, that VMK0 should be selected here. It's already added. If not, click on add here. Select which one you want to add. Once you add, that's it. We have done storage target binding. Do a rescan once, or you can do anyway. We will do this rescan later also, but do it again once here. Wait for that rescan to complete. Rescan all HBAs is in progress. Wait for this task to complete. So looks like it's busy. Otherwise, it will not take this much time. So completed. Now target binding is completed. Once the LUN is presented, go to storage, new storage, okay, VMFS. Next. So here you can see there are two LUNs presented, 250 GB LUNs are presented. We cannot format both at a time, one at a time we have to format. This process is exactly same as FC. Okay, select a LUN, enter data store name. Next, next and finish. Okay, LUN will be created. Data store will be created from that LUN. DS89. Okay, created. If you want to create one more, again right click, storage, new data store, VMFS, the another 50 GB LUN is present. Fine. So I have presented this from storage and before this class. That's why you're able to see here. Clear? From that 103 machine, I have presented. Clear? Any questions with iSCSI? iSCSI, completely the material behind the use is copper material, adapters, cables, everything is made up of copper. So we get the data transfer rate with the speed of electricity. So it'll be less costlier than FC and we'll get little less performance than FC as well. Normally, medium scale organizations used to prefer over 10 over a decade. Okay. And now with the price of iSCSI, people are getting FC itself. That's why iSCSI usage is less, but if someone is using iSCSI, we should know how to configure iSCSI storage. So first we have to share the VM kernel IP address to the storage team and get their end iSCSI server IP address. They will know their iSCSI server IP and we know our ESXi IP address. Our ESXi IP address, go to ESXi, configure tab, VM kernel adapters. Here you take the first one for now, but after discussing about networking topic, you will come to know which one to choose. Okay. Copy this IP address. Here you directly cannot copy. From the bottom, you can copy from here. Go to IP settings. Here you can copy the same IP. Right click, copy. Or you can just simply notepad, you can type this and send it to them. Once you send, they will send you their end iSCSI server IP. We need to do target binding. This is one-time task. You don't need to do it again and again. When it is a brand new storage and brand new ESXi machine, we do that. Let's say when you are adding one more ESXi to this group, okay. Again, you need to do target binding on this server. You don't need to do on this server. You need to do target binding on this server. When you add new ESXi to the storage, you need to do target binding. Or if you add, you tell me now, I'm going to add a new array here and connect to the same ESXi. Okay, it has a different IP. I need to do, if I want to use storage from this new array, this is a new array, 108, sorry, 104 is a new array. If I want to use storage from this storage box on this ESXi, do I need to do storage by target binding or not?
Yes, we need to do target binding, sir.
Yes, that's okay. So we need to do target binding for 104 IP because it's a new target. This adapter will not know it. The adapter knows only about 103. This adapter 104 also we have to mention that. Go to storage adapters, select the adapter, dynamic discovery, add and enter 104 here. Okay, and also net port binding will be there already, so it will communicate better. So whenever you add a new storage array, iSCSI storage array to the existing ESXi, you need to do target binding. Or whenever you add a new ESXi to the existing storage, you need to do storage iSCSI target binding as well. Post add చేసిన target binding చేయాలి, SAN array add చేసిన target binding చేయాలి. In case of iSCSI. Okay, that I one-time task, but on the particular host. And once you do the target binding, they will do a LUN creation and map it to the ESX file. Fine. So once you do the target binding, they will create LUN and map it to the ESXi machine based on the IP address. There is no joining and masking involved here. It will be just presentation over that IP address. Once that is done, we can create data store as usual, same as in FC. Okay. Data store creation is exactly same as FC. Any question here? Okay. So select the ESXi machine, configure tab, VM kernel adapter. We can see the IP address here. Via this port group, we should connect and make sure which number it is, VM+0. And go to storage adapters, select the adapter, then go to dynamic discovery. First add the target IP here, click on OK. This will be given by the storage. Then go to network port binding, add and select the VMK0 or whichever that one we decided for storage communication. Then rescan once, then you will be ready to create a data store whenever storage team confirms that LUN is presented. New data store, VMFS, select DS90. Next name in the data store sequence. 89 is already there, so 90. Next, finish. And one thing, like how to know which is, let's say there is one data store which is having 271 GB, another two are 50/50. I want to understand, okay, whether they are FC or iSCSI. If you see here, both will be showing local disk, also will be showing VMFS. Remote storage, iSCSI or FC, both will be showing a VMFS 6 only. So from here, this page, we cannot understand whether it is FC or iSCSI. Only if you go to storage, configure storage adapters based on the adapter here. If it is hexadecimal address, FC. If it is IQN address, iSCSI. But just that doesn't mean like just adapter is presented, we are using it. Once you select here, you should see the targets also, devices and targets. If it is showing 0, it's not used. Even though adapter is there, it's not used. Okay, the number should be there. That many number of data stores are connected. That means there is some active connections. If it is hexadecimal address also, if it is showing 0, that means not used only. Okay. Make sure that is showing some paths, and those number of devices you can verify from here also. If you select that adapter, here you go to devices. Here you can see two LUNs are coming from there. Capacity 50 GB, 50 GB. Paths, how many paths are there? Via this path it is connected. Okay. Path should be active. In real time, sometimes may be dead. We have to rescan to fix the dead paths. Okay. Just rescan, it will fix the problem. Right. So now you explore all these options. I have not discussed some other options, right? You try to explore what does it mean, when it will be used, okay, those kind of things. Properties, it will just give summary, okay, from where it is. So any other questions here?